My reoccurring nightmare goes like this. I'm back at uni and have not attended one of my classes all semester. My final exam is today. I'm completely unprepared. I don't know what to do. Then I wake up without a resolution. This is how every one of our brain works. It diligently preserves our worst case scenarios and replays them to us to keep us safe. And it usually does a good job at it too. But if it's led to do it too often, it can become a habit that becomes a process looking for content. Some of us even think that if we worry enough, we can prevent bad things from happening. We can worry too easily about the wrong things. We exaggerate their importance, and our thinking becomes clouded with fear of outcomes. This is when worry becomes a fog in our brain. The bigger picture becomes harder to see. Fog covering 7 city blocks to a depth of 100 feet is composed of something less than a glass of water. So if all the fog covering 7 city blocks 100 feet deep were collected and held in a single drinking glass, it would not even fill it. And if all the things most people worry about were reduced to their true size, you can probably put them all into a drinking glass too. Earl Nightingale, in his book The Essence of Success, states that we worry to an excess of 92%. 40% is over things that won't happen, 30% is over things in the past that we can't change, 12% is needless worry about our health, and 10% is over petty miscellaneous worries. Only 8% of our worries are of some importance. 92% is pure fog with no substance at all. Now a whopping 2 out of 5 Americans find worrying debilitating every day. 3 out of 5 Britons have felt so stressed that they have been overwhelmed or felt unable to cope in the year 2017. 1 in 5 Australians have taken time off work in the past 12 months because they felt stressed, anxious, depressed, or mentally unhealthy. When we worry, the fight or flight response is triggered. It brings on a surge of adrenaline that was used to protect our ancestors from such dangers as wild animals that could easily make a meal out of them. Today, it protects us from our demanding boss. It helps us rush to meet deadlines and get through peak hour traffic. The fight or flight response also triggers the release of another stress hormone called cortisol, which boosts blood sugar levels and fats for fuel. This can lead to things like sweating, muscle tension and aches, and nausea, among other things. If we go into overdrive, then it leads to a sense of impending doom, anxiety, and panic. The excessive outpouring of stress hormones and unused fuel in the blood can lead to serious physical consequences like these. The biggest one to be concerned about is heart disease. Heart disease, including heart attacks, is the #1 killer in the Western world, and studies have shown that fully 25% of all heart disease is related to stress. In New York, Los Angeles, and other areas, the relationship between stress and heart attacks is so well acknowledged that any police officer who suffers a coronary event at any time, even while fishing on vacation, is assumed to have a work-related injury and is compensated accordingly. But what about those police officers that are happy and healthy? They are able to stay this way because of the way they manage their worry. Research has shown that people whose jobs are very demanding but have little control over changing it, like in lower skilled work such as retail and factory production lines, are at a greater risk of a heart attack, greater by 23%. But if they felt like they had some control over their fate, even if they had high workloads, then they were exempt. So worry is not the cause, it is merely just a trigger, and whether or not you become ill all comes down to how you handle it. View worry as not your enemy but as your friend. Welcome it. It's your body's remarkable, incredibly sophisticated way to prepare your body to rise to the occasion. Only when you stop using its help, as in when you resist, or when you don't allow yourself to come to a conclusion causing you to go around in circles, is when it becomes harmful. Specifically, if you're not using the fuel and hormones made by your body to deal with the problem and it builds up, that's when it gets harmful. Knowing that this contributes to our #1 killer by 25%, you would think that knowing how to manage worry is considered a vital life skill. it gets worse with each generation because the next is exposed to even more worry triggers. We are dealing with increasing demands of work, study, social expectations, and social media. If you feel like you are not coping, please see your doctor because anti-anxiety medication for now may be right for you. Your doctor will also do a physical examination to make sure other health problems are not fueling your feelings, because a lack of vitamin B and D, iron, magnesium, selenium, and omega-3 can all contribute to or worsen your anxiety. This is why eating healthy is so important. Also, limit your caffeine intake because it triggers the release of adrenaline. Exercise regularly. We know it significantly increases your ability to handle worry. Meditation and relaxation classes have also been shown to be of benefit. One study of heart attack survivors found that taking a stress management class slashed their risks of a second cardiac event by 74%. Read self-help books. Learn strategies and practice exercises that help you respond to worry and stress in a healthy way. Develop a strong social network. Chronic feelings of loneliness or social isolation make it harder to effectively manage stress. Or talk to a professional therapist. Psychological counseling can help you develop appropriate coping strategies to deal with issues that trigger excessive worrying.